Hi everyone, it's Maggie. I hope you're having a good day today. I thought I would do a little tutorial on how to burn pine needles. As you can see, I'm going in on this burning of a baby black bear. It's just a simple outline so far. We're going to start by doing somewhat simple straight lines. You're going to do one line and then just on the other outside of it, you're going to go back over. And not all pine needles are straight. So once you get towards the end, you're going to give it a little bit of a curve. Some pine needles are kind of curvy, so you're going to give some of those even more of a curve. You have some little short ones, you have some longer ones, and as you can see, I'm giving some room in between them, but pretty soon they're gonna start to overlap, and I've got different lengths here. It's a very simple, easy process, but sometimes it's just nice to see someone else do it before you give it a shot. Right here, I'm gonna get a nice curvy one to give some depth and some natural shape to these pine needles. Alright, there we go with some nice overlapping. You can see over on the right hand side, I already have some over there. Down on the bottom, I just did a kind of a little, I don't know what it's called, but it's where the pine needles come out of the branch, because pine needles don't just grow straight out. They come from a little bud. So if you're going to show where they're growing out of, you want to put that in there just for a little bit of realism. I wanted to put these pine needles in first before I put in the texture and the colors of the bark, so that you could see the pine needles, so that they contrasted more and they weren't just dark, thick lines on the wood. There we go with one pine needle that has a curved, pointed tip. Pine needles like this are great for obviously projects featuring pine trees, but also for projects centered around the holidays. If you're going to do something for Christmas or just the holiday season, you want to do something featuring pine cones or a wreath. They're really simple. Once you get the hang of it, you can make them larger, you can fill them in, give them some shading. I might go back in later, throw some shading in there, but for now I've just got these simple lines with some overlapping texture. At this point in just the outline process, this baby black bear looks a little bit like a koala, but we'll fix that later once we get into the shading and the more details. As you can see, I'm adding some pine needles that are growing from behind the tree, closer to the baby bear. And you can put pine needles really wherever you want. It's more of a feeling. If you're looking at a source picture, you can put them wherever they are in that picture. I like to go based on feeling wherever I feel like they fit into the composition. I like the freedom of filling in space where I feel like it's needed. Just go with your gut if you are that kind of artist, or if you are a type A person, go with your source picture. And you're going to want to take some of those pine needles, wherever they are, you're going to want to take some of them. You see how I'm putting them behind the bear? You're going to want to do that. You don't want to keep all of them short of whatever they're near. You need to have some of them go kind of off, I guess off scene a little bit. And you can see here that I have some that are going to end up going in front of this tree outline that I've already got here. And that tree outline, the line isn't thick enough for that to cause much of an issue. So that's going to be just fine. We're going to zoom in on it pretty soon so that you can see that it doesn't really cause that big of an issue. If that line was much thicker, I wouldn't put them there, because I wouldn't want that those overlapping lines. But for now, because that line isn't too thick, I think we're going to be okay. Right, here we go. So there you can see that line is fine. Just adding more pine needles in randomly, giving them more of those curved little tips there. Not all of them are straight. Some of them have got a little bit of a curve. Definitely having them overlap each other. Not all of them. Keeping them a little spaced out. You can also tell that I figured out how to film in landscape, which is better than my last video, which was vertical. Alright, right here, like I said earlier, I'm just going with my gut. I don't have a pencil marking to indicate where I'm going to put these. I just decided that they would look good right here, so I did a little off branch, and I am filling in some pine needles right here. Going behind the other branch for some depth. And I'm going with a combination of somewhat straight, pretty straight, and kind of curved needles. Gonna put a good long one in there to contrast the shorter ones that I have. I'll go ahead and add another one in there, and then that should be it. Thanks for watching, guys.